Hello, my friends. Welcome to Mystic Mallow. Today I am going to do a tarot deck unboxing and a deck interview to get to know this deck. I recently got some decks as a gift and I thought I would just unbox them here and share the artwork with you guys and get to know them a little bit and give a little bit of critique, and love to hear from you guys on what you think of these decks, if you've used these decks before. So today I am starting with Jim Henson's Labyrinth deck, and I love this movie. I'm hoping anybody watching this video right here has some sort of nostalgic feeling for the Labyrinth with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. So I took the plastic off of here. Otherwise, I have not looked inside this box yet. So we're going to take a look at, I'm going to do a flip through of all the cards, and then we'll do a shuffle and a quick deck interview and go from there, right? Who knows what's going to happen. So this is actually the Jim Henson's Labyrinth. So they're using the Jim Henson name on here. And the foreword is by Brian Froud. And Brian Froud, if you don't know, was the artist who designed the creatures that were in the labyrinth. I have a poster of his art, and it had little baby Toby with the trolls, or the goblins, right? Goblin King, right? And it's autographed. I got to meet them. Oh, this was many, many years ago, but I have that hanging up in here. So that's why I thought this would be a good deck to get started with. So we're going to open it up. I like the woodcut style here. It has the forward by Brian Froud on this side and art by Tomas Iho. Guessing that's how you say his name. And the box itself has Labyrinth artwork on the side. Very cool. A little ribbon to pull out your deck and your book. Here's the little book. The little door knocker on the back. I'd want to say in the comments like, oh, please leave a comment on your favorite scene from the Labyrinth, but I'm sure we're going to visit them in these cards, so we'll see. Tell me which one's your favorite as we're going. Sure, why not? Oh, before we even do that, got my setup here and I didn't even get started. Okay, I am going to light a candle here, and I'm going to burn a little bit of sage so we can cleanse some energy here. Just going to burn a little bit over here. Just to give some good vibes. I've got some selenite here for cleansing, because we don't know where this deck has been, right? Let's light a little candle here. Anybody that needs a little extra love and blessing today, I'm sending some energy your way. Okay. Oh, look. It looks like Toby's pajamas there. I think that yellow and white, or orange and white stripes. I think that looks like Toby. The little hat like he wears. I think that's what that made me think of. So we'll look at the backs. And it looks a lot like probably the door. But I'm sure there's some symbolism in there that maybe you're catching a little before I do. But we'll get started. We'll flip through because we got to start. We got to start at the beginning, right? Okay, let's get started here. Okay, we have in the beginning we have Sarah as the Fool, and this looks a lot like the very beginning of the movie where she's out in the park doing her Goblin King speech out of her book, and it's, oh my goodness, gotta run home. So it's a really good symbolism there. Looks like she's off somewhere. And if we know anything about the Fool, right, it's the beginning of her journey, right? Before she goes on. The Magician. Jareth is perfect for that. And the little goblins. High Priestess. This is a very interesting one for the High Priestess. This is one of those little knights that were inside the labyrinth. The Empress. Is that her mom? Emperor, which I'm guessing is her dad. Still in the beginning of the deck, right? So it's the only time you see them. Oh, the Hierophant. Got Hoggle. And of course I'm trying to think like, oh, if I'm thinking about the Hierophant and what the Hierophant symbolizes, you know, there's some authority there. I don't know. Does Hoggle work? He's kind of the second in command, right? I don't know. The Dancers. This is very interesting. This is from the Masquerade, right? So this would be the Lover's card. The Chariot. Perfect Chariot. Absolutely. Love that. Strength. There's the big tough goblin inside the Goblin City. The Hermit. I can see that. I can see that. The Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, that's good symbolism for that. What direction? All directions. And the directions change all the time, right? Oh, I meant to put these down, didn't I? Well, we're going to shuffle them anyway, so. The cards themselves are really nice and thick. They're quite matte. There's not much gloss to them. I think they're gonna slide really well. Justice. The Hangman. Oh, yes. Because Ludo was upside down when they found him. Fate. That was like that little beggar puppet, right? Temperance. The Demon, which would be the devil, but yeah, I can see that for them. The Tower, which is the castle in the Goblin City, right? The Star. The Moon. Oh, I'm loving some of the symbolism. The Sun. There's Toby. Judgment. The World. That's your major. King of Poles. So I'm guessing we're in the wands here. So the wands are poles in this deck. Just the Queen. The Knight. Page. Ace. 2. 3. So we're going into kind of a basic symbolism here, but this is interesting. I like it. So not your traditional Rider-Waite Smith with the minor. King of Junk. Look at her. I'm just a Queen of Junk. So what is the junk? Is that cups or is that pentacles? I'm feeling pentacles. Because if I think of junk, right, you're thinking of material possessions, which would make pentacles appropriate because it's the earth suit. That is very interesting. King of Feathers. Queen of Feathers. Knight. Page. Ace. So I want to say that maybe the feathers are the swords because swords are the air element. They kind of are shaped like swords. Colors are really great here. King of Pots. So I'm guessing that's our cups. That's it, 78. So pretty cards. I'm trying to think of kind of what kind of readings this would be good for. And again, that's why we do deck interviews, right? We're gonna ask. So we're gonna do a little shuffle, a little bit of a shuffle here. These are pretty big cards. Judge my shuffling skills, especially with new decks. But we want to give them a good shuffle, right? You know what? We'll maybe take a look at our book, see if that clarifies our suits, which I think I'm pretty sure. It just says poles, junks, and feathers in here. And I'm going to take a look at the book. The book's kind of nice because it's got the actual colored pictures in here. So you got full size for the major, and it looks like little mini ones for the minor. It doesn't seem to clarify. It just says suit of poles, king of poles, queen of poles. So I'm going to have to read it a little bit further. But I think, what do you guys think? I'm pretty sure my interpretations, based on the looks of them, the poles are the wands, the junks the pentacles, feathers the swords, pots the cups. These guys need a little bit of a workout. All right, well, let's ask some questions and get to know this deck a little bit. So, Labyrinth deck, tell me a little bit about yourself. Give me a card that best represents you as a deck. Really thinking about it. Fate. Interesting. I think we did gloss over the fact that that popped up. I believe, since that's 13, that's the Death card. And what is the Death card but transition, moving into new places? And I can see that because the labyrinth itself can see that because the labyrinth itself is about transition, mostly for Sarah, from being a child to being more mature, the death of childish things and putting it away. You know, you had the Queen of Junk, right? Showing her that, and the transition that she has to go through the whole thing. So, wow, that is kind of a perfect card to explain this deck. I kind of like it too, just here, this being my brand new channel. And I have a bunch of decks that I've had for a while that I've been waiting to unbox. And this is my first one I picked. So I like this. I like this a lot. Okay. Good, good, good. Tell me, Labyrinth deck, what are your strengths as a deck? What can I get out of you? When I want to read for myself, when I want to read for other people. Let's give it another good shuffle here too. What are your strengths as a deck? Tough deck, yeah. It's hardy. And this one really wants to talk to me. This card right here. The Five of Junk, which we considered pentagrams. So I asked it, what is your strengths as a deck? And it gives me 5 of what I think is pentagrams, which in Rider-Waite symbolism is the one with the little beggars that are walking by the stained glass window. Represents loss and scarcity. So I'm like, this is interesting for strengths. I want to say that, I mean, if you think about the Labyrinth, the movie, the story is about Sarah losing Toby and having to find Toby and feeling like she's losing things along the way. She loses her memory. She loses her will at some points too when Jareth gets really close to her. So I'm thinking that because the Labyrinth is about a journey to find something that's lost, that this would be a great deck to read when you need new understandings, when you feel some hopelessness, or when you feel some loss and you need direction. That's how I'm going to interpret that. What do you think? I like that. I like that. We're gonna use that. We're gonna go with that. So, Labyrinth deck, what are your limitations or weaknesses as a deck? This one over here wants to talk. The Magician. I want to say, you know, the Magician in general, the weaknesses of the Magician is the knowledge of having knowledge, having tools, and sometimes not knowing where to direct those tools and that knowledge. So for me, looking at these cards that are beautiful, the art is just gorgeous, but there's a lot going on. There's it's a woodcut theme. The art is dark in general. There's some pretty colors there, but you can see this is kind of a, you know what's going on there, but the colors are not, bright and rainbow or anything like that. I think the limitations here is that there's going to be a lot to interpret, to dig deep. I think this will be a good deck for shadow work, maybe. And that can be a limitation because some people may want this deck in a reading and may not be ready for some shadow work. So that's a very interesting card. All right, Labyrinth deck. What are you here to teach me? In this deck interview I'm using, I found online, and I can't remember the source. I'll have to look it up and link it below, but it's a great interview. What are you here to teach me? Four of Cups, Four of Pots. So with the Four of Pots, which I'm going to assume is the Four of Cups, I'm going to see opportunities presenting themselves, but having some decisions to make at that point, being mindful of those decisions. If this deck needs to teach me looking at opportunities and making decisions, I'm not sure what that means to me yet. So we'll write that down and we'll just kind of muddle on that for a while. Again, I asked what it needs to teach me, so sometimes I need to do a little more soul searching on those lessons, right? All right, Labyrinth deck. How can I best collaborate with you? And so we can learn together. What is the best way for us to collaborate? Oh, that just flew out. We got the Sun, we got Judgment, we got the World. 3 major arcana. Oh, okay. Of course, of the 19, 20, 21, they wanted to come out together. collaborate by finding light in the dark. I think I had mentioned how, you know, the artwork is a little darker than many decks. And sometimes we need the vision to see through that darkness, especially with that labyrinth right there. I think we'll collaborate by shedding some light on some shadows, right? That's what I'm feeling, at least. Just threw out those big old fat major arcana at me. Okay. And Labyrinth Deck. What is the potential outcome of us working together? We're going to do some work together. We're going to help some people. What is the potential outcome of our working together? It's thinking, huh? Oh, what's on top here? Let's go with this. 10 of Cups. Love it, love it, love it. It's the happy family, the prosperity, the abundance. When you shed light on shadow, knowing that the shadow is still always going to be there, it makes completion, it makes wholeness. I feel like when I'm going to be working with this deck, I'm going to help some people maybe fill some gaps in themselves, maybe ones that are hidden. That's what I'm feeling, at least. So that is the Labyrinth Tarot. Let me know what you thought of that one. If you have this deck and you've been working with it a while, let me know what you think of it. I think it's gorgeous, and I can't wait to play with it some more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel. I know I'm a baby new channel, and we need to grow. I also do readings over on Etsy right now until we figure out where we're going to land on this. So if you want a reading with this deck by me, go to Etsy, look for Mystic Mallow. I'll put a link to my Etsy shop in the notes, and love to chat with you guys. Thanks so much, guys.